Hey there Seeker, welcome back to Wild Lotus Tarot and to your weekly tarot reading. I'm going to be back with you face to face really soon. I have been pretty sick over the last week, so I'm still recovering but finally feeling much better. Guys, please do like, share, comment, subscribe. It really helps the videos go further in an algorithm that's not really that supportive of small channels like myself. I would greatly appreciate that. Also, all the links that you need are below the video should you want to follow my social media. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram and on TikTok. Also the link to my website should you want to arrange a personal reading, you can do that as well. Also have the info on the decks that I use and the music in my tracks as well, as I often get asked about that. So let's go to your reading, guys. Have a wonderful week. Bye for now. Hi there Scorpio, welcome back to Wild Lotus Tarot and to your weekly tarot reading for the 15th to 21st of March. Scorpio, let's get the cards out for you. I'm starting with the Work-Your-Light Oracle. We will grab a couple of these, then a lead tarot card from the Moonchild Tarot, and I'll be using the Rider-Waite and the Starchild Tarot Akashic for your tarot positions. We've got boundaries. Where do you need to establish better boundaries, Scorpio? You can see here all the kind of hands coming at this person, like energetic clutches. You might just be having a week where there are many demands placed on you, and we need to sort of be quite careful how we manage that, what we say yes to, you know, that we can only take on the things that we can really follow through with and that is healthy for you. Sometimes we just need to take that time out where we block everything out, turn off the social media, and really just come back to ourselves. Sometimes the more we open our energy for others, the more they will come in. So we just need to make sure that we are opening and closing with the right frequency that allows us to also regenerate. And I have Anna, grandmother of Jesus, seeding the light, laying foundations, divine plan. I love this energy, Scorpio, because it's very much about stars aligning, divine orchestration and things coming together. Sometimes we feel like there's not enough movement, there's not enough progress. We're wondering where that soulmate is, we're wondering where our lucky break is, our fortune change, our big opportunity. Well, sometimes it's just not the right time. Maybe you really needed to experience what it's like to not have those things before they were to come in for you. Scorpio, we don't really know, but we need to trust the universe's divine timing and, you know, our life path, and trust that everything comes in exactly when it is the right time for you. All right, Scorpio, let's go to the Moonchild Tarot. There we go. Oh, big energy. We have got Death, and I just love this card. Danielle Knowles, Moonchild Tarot, absolutely stunning energy. Not sponsored, wish I was, but I just love her work. So we can see this very, it's very much a metamorphosis energy here in this card, an energy of liberation, of freedom that comes through releasing what no longer serves you. It's about a purge, shedding of the old skins, and transforming at a cellular level. Some of you might be letting go of an old way of being, a relationship that's just had its time. Maybe ending a series of the same kind of jobs, a career path, a long-term course of study. Death talks about the ending of big cycles in our lives so that we can make room for the new growth, the new beginning that is just behind that. And there's an energy of surrender required. You know, if we push back on change, life becomes really tough. Can really feel like we're swimming against the current or going against the grain. So you're being asked to flow with this and trust, because you are being led towards the energy of liberation. And of course, Scorpio, let's not forget that that is your energy from the major arcana. So there's also a real coming to power in this for you. And it's right before the Temperance energy as well, which actually talks about being guided forward, you know, doing the healing, the rebalancing and being guided forward. So some of you are potentially about to kind of embark on a big transition that's going to change your life path in some way. Recent past, Six of Swords. I have current or focused energy. I have Libra energy there with the Justice card. So there goes your big changes. There is a big transition here, an adjustment in your life, Scorpio. It's going to have you moving on to the new frontier. Guess what's at the bottom of the deck? Oops, it was Judgment, but I have just flipped it out. You'll have to trust me on that. Judgment over what has limited you. I always say it's the devil energy in these small but dark spaces, and here we have, you know, the devil that's just kind of landed with that. So we have a real, what we're leaving behind is something potentially that has kind of held you bound. It hasn't been healthy for you. For some of you, it's a toxic pattern that you're releasing, toxic relationship, toxic career. Many things can go like that. And it's generally caused by staying in things that, you know, just past that use by date, where it just becomes hard and we sort of fall out of resonance with it. There goes the Temperance energy. I was feeling that. So we've got the beautiful segue there of like coming into the guidance, the divine guidance after the death. Clarifying Justice, Eight of Swords, okay. Clarifying Knight of Wands. That one. Knight of Swords. Page of Wands. Seven of Swords. Yeah. Two of Cups. So for many of you, this is in the area of partnership. Got the Two of Cups here as like the kind of the past most energy here. I'm not feeling only romantic relationships. I have to say, I was feeling work situation or some kind of connection that you might have been all in with. Could have been a creative partner or a colleague, or with that devil energy for some reason I was feeling, you know, boss or mentor or something like that as well. But there has been some kind of toxicity. That Seven of Swords could mean that there's been some manipulation, there's been some undermining, or some kind of keeping small, and that is what you are breaking away from, right? That's what I'm really, really feeling here. It is really time for judgment over that, with Judgment and the Justice energy. This can also be like, you know, workplace disputes, you know, maybe harassment cases as well. I've got that Boundaries card. Somebody may have overstepped your boundary. I'm actually probably I'll have to say I'm feeling that more than the romantic partnership now. Begin to talk about it. I feel like someone has maybe taken your sort of abused your goodness in some way and kind of overstepped your boundary, and you are really ready to end that cycle. It might have been going on for a while. Somebody has just kept on kind of abusing your good nature is something that's coming through here, and you're just like basically saying, you know what, enough, not going to put up with this anymore. So that's what I'm feeling there, guys. It's time to move on. Time to move on. And there could be some kind of like a harsh exchange here between you and this person as well, with that Knight of Swords, Seven of Swords kind of combination. And when you just kind of say, you know what, I'm done, I'm out, judgment time, it's really time to move on here. So I'm kind of being called to kind of go, okay, back to you. Kind of being called to sort of just go a little bit freestyle here. So that's what I'm going to do. This is where we're at, guys. The Devil with the Judgment. It is judgment time. You are ready to assert your boundaries and, you know, release this. This could have happened slowly over time. You know, somebody could have, you know, started just by gaining your trust and then slowly taking advantage. In the workplace, it could be, you know, the boss, mentor, or manager who sort of befriends a little bit and to kind of get you on side, and then starts asking you to go above and beyond. That kind of behavior. It's not necessarily completely sinister, but it is kind of abusing that right of power, isn't it? And then that's the kind of energy that can kind of burn you out over time and become very unhealthy. That's why the devil has the bat wings, because it's unsustainable, and over time it sort of sucks your energy out. You know, it could also be somebody who was a dear friend that keeps on coming to you with their troubles and then really starts leaning more and more heavily on you, and then that starts to have an impact on your energy as well. With that this divine seeding card here, I really feel that this is part of your process because it's going to lead you somewhere else, because the push is coming to shove and you're going to transition because of this. So it's actually leading you elsewhere. So it's really time, and the life lesson in it obviously is a big lesson of boundaries, asserting your own power and not allowing others to come in and take from you in that way. So I always say, yes, it's the devil energy in these black boxes, and you are getting ready, to liberate yourself. You might have kind of had a wake-up call. You might not have really seen this pattern for what it is until recently, and now you're kind of waking up to it and going, oh, actually, this doesn't feel good. This is not healthy. This is over the line. Maybe this person has just made one last move that feels really over the line for you, and you're making the decision to close the cycle. Judgment is the card that comes before the World, which is the last major arcana, which is about cyclic ending and completion. And it's a card of victory because you're calling it at the right time. I see the Death card kind of like that World energy. It's the release, it's the purge, it's time for it to go. I think it's caused you quite a bit of stress. I mean, the Eight of Swords is that card of the mental prison. It's that card of potentially the mind kind of playing tricks on you. So there could have been an undercurrent or an intuition or something that just really feels right, but then there's that justifying of, oh, no, they wouldn't do that, or that's not what's really going on. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. That's what I'm kind of feeling. But over time, you realize that you are the one who is kind of being bound here. You are the one that's kind of, it's a series of, it's kind of like an entrapment as well. There could have even been a little bit of emotional blackmail or manipulation here to kind of keep you from leaving this situation. Yeah, I think maybe that devil energy, if it is in the workplace, they were afraid that you were going to leave and go somewhere else. So there's been a little bit of, entrapment going on is what I'm feeling. I think intuitively you've kind of known, but it's sort of just really come to your main awareness lately. And then it's like, okay, well, it's time to bring justice to the situation. I can see how unbalanced it is now. There's got to be a change. In fact, this is maybe not even completely legal here. For some people there could actually be some kind of legal proceedings that are going to happen out of this, but obviously there's levels to justice. This is a card of truth, wanting the truth to be exposed, bringing the change. And with the Page of Wands here, a couple of different things. This is a card of good news. So it says that if this is kind of like a justice situation, you will come out on top and you will get the verdict that you want. So that's really positive. But what I also see in this Page of Wands card is that you're about to go through a really big transformation, coming back to that Death card, transformation, because I think there's that life lesson of boundaries for you. You're owning it here. And you're realizing too that you've actually learned the lesson and you don't need to stay in this any longer. It is time for you to make the transition. And you can see this person here just takes a look over their shoulder and then goes through the Stargate, right? You're going through the portal. It's time for you to liberate yourself and transform. It's like you're going into a chrysalis and you're going to go through this metamorphosis where you're going to come out twice as strong. You're going to be a force to reckon with after this. So that's what I'm seeing here. There may be a conversation or a confrontation, not for all of you, but the Knight of Swords and the Seven of Swords most definitely could be that. Hey, you know what? I see what you've been doing here and I'm moving on. It's just not, it's not right. If that happens, my advice is just with the Knight of Swords is to really just make sure that it's all about your delivery. The Knight of Swords can turn into kind of like hasty words and it can be an argumentative energy. So just watch that. Make sure that you have all your facts, all your information, potentially some evidence if you're going to confront somebody in that way. There's also a card of, insight and clarity. You're really getting clear on this. You're really getting clear on the pattern here. You can see what the deception has been. You can see what has been taken from you. You can see how maybe you have been manipulated and your boundaries have been overstepped. So you're seeing everything clearly. You feel really confident that it really is time to move on here. I've got strong Sagittarius energy here with the Knight of Wands and Temperance. Could be dealing with a Sagittarius. But ultimately, this is transition. And as I mentioned earlier in the reading, Temperance is the major arcana that follows on from Death as the guiding light. You know, now we have the angel that has come between you two to sever, to separate, and then lead you to the next stage of your divine plan. See, you can see it's all perfect here. So Temperance is the rebalancing, it's the recalibration, it is the processing of the emotions and coming back in stability. So you might be a little bit emotionally shaken up as part of this process, and you may have to go through some kind of healing process. It is also a card of rebirth, so coming back to that Page of Wands, going through the metamorphosis. You are going to come out of this almost like with a little sense of enlightenment. There's a piece of evolution in this for your soul. It's part of your karmic timeline is what I'm really feeling. And you're going to be guided onto the new path. Six of Swords is a card of moving into a time of peace and harmony and balance again. Balance is coming up, the number 6, away from the tumultuous emotions. But it's with a bit of a heavy heart, because sometimes with these situations, like, we didn't ask for them, but we find ourselves in them. You know, we don't choose these situations. They're placed in our path for us to learn and grow. And sometimes we do feel a bit like, oh, I've gone through the wars a bit here, you know, it's with a heavy heart. I wanted to stay in this job, but, you know, then I ended up with this manager who started manipulating me, and now I'm the one that has to move on. And you feel hard done by. What you don't realize is that, you know, this is part of your divine plan, and there's new foundation being laid for you, and you're the one that's actually going to end up pursuing your passions, pursuing your desires, and manifesting something far greater. Once you get in that boat, you start to transition after bringing this to justice. That speed, that progress, it just keeps moving quicker. And you could even get some kind of passionate offer of the next job, the next whatever it is that you're transitioning on from, that just feels so much more on purpose and aligned for you. Interesting reading, Scorpio. It's interesting energy. I wasn't really expecting that, but there we go. I mean, it's quite specific, so it may or may not be for you, but that is what has come through today. Drop me a comment if you're cool to share. I do read them all and try and interact with you all over there. Helps me get to know you guys, connect with your energy, and see what's happening out there in the collective. It has been a pleasure to read your cards, Scorpio, and I will see you back here for another one next week. Bye for now.